This lesson is all about the fundamentals of creating a healthy kitchen. So keeping your kitchen in top shape goes way beyond what you eat. It's also about how you handle, store, cook, and consume food. So in this lesson, we'll explain how you can ensure your kitchen is as healthy as possible. Before we delve into the specifics, there are a few fundamentals to a healthy kitchen. So we've mentioned most of these in other modules, but we will review them again just to ensure completeness. So you want to keep your kitchen clean. A clean kitchen is key to a healthy home. And to keep your kitchen clean, it's vital that you use safe, non-toxic cleaners. So refer to our cleaning module for more information and some product recommendations here. You also want to ensure that your kitchen is well ventilated. Ventilation is a big deal. When you cook, you're creating steam and byproducts that need to be vented out properly. Poor ventilation can lead to mold and polluted indoor air quality. And make sure you have a good ventilation system in the kitchen. An exhaust fan that's going to send stuff outside and not just recirculating it. You want to keep the kitchen door shut if you've got one when you're cooking, just to stop moisture and smells from taking over the whole house. And remember to regularly open your windows to allow for fresh air to circulate through. So refer to the air module for more details on this one. You also want to avoid the use of a microwave. Microwaves emit harmful EMF radiation and they can lower the nutritional quality of the food. Instead, reheat your food on the stove or in the oven. So refer to the EMF module for more details on this one. You want to prioritize a healthy water supply. So filtering our water is really key, and we go over all this in the water module too. Now, how to reduce chemical exposure and toxicity in the kitchen? Plastics are a major concern in the kitchen, just due to their presence in various items, and the risk of exposure to microplastics is big, and these leach into our food and they do nothing good to our body. So it's important to avoid products that have plastic in them, even those labeled BPA free, as they often just substitute it with things like BPS and BPF, which aren't any better. So if you must use plastics, never heat food in plastic, avoid microwaving them, and please refrain from washing them in dishwasher. This is going to help prevent the plastic from breaking down and just leaching more into your food. Additionally, avoiding storing acidic or fatty foods in plastics is again going to help make sure that that leaching isn't increased. Let's go through each of the items in your kitchen. You can also download this information in a helpful table that you can reference later. So kitchen cookware and bakeware. When it comes to cookware and bakeware, there are a few items that you should really be trying to avoid. Firstly, aluminum pots and pans. These have been linked to an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. Instead, you want to opt for cast iron, ceramic, carbon steel, enamel, porcelain, or stainless steel cookware. It's going to be much better for your health. Copper cookware should also be used sparingly. It can lead to copper toxicity and impact the natural microbe balance in your food. So if you do use copper, choose pots with copper base layers only, as they have great conductivity. Non-stick cookware, such as those containing PFOA or these forever chemicals or Teflon, these have been associated with an increased risk of cancer and reduced fertility. So a safer alternative is ceramic lined non-stick cookware. And if you do use non-stick, avoid overheating or using harsh detergents on them or putting them in the dishwasher. All of this is going to just increase the leaching of those chemicals into your food. When it comes to food storage and packaging, again, plastic containers and water bottles can be leaching harmful chemicals like BPA or a substitute into your food and drinks. So you want to use glass or stainless steel containers and bottles to hold all your food. Cling film and plastic wraps also pose a risk of chemical leaching, especially when they're right in contact with foods, especially acidic foods. So you can get much safer alternatives like beeswax wraps, and looking for cans that don't have BPA in the lining is going to be really important. And actually just avoiding cans as much as possible because they usually leach something from the lining in. If it's not BPA, it's going to be a substitute of BPA. When possible, you want to purchase products in glass jars. This is going to be the best for fresh or frozen foods. Styrofoam and polystyrene, these are commonly found in takeaway food packaging, and these are possible human carcinogens and can leach into food when heated. So using stainless steel again or glass containers is going to be a much healthier option here. Greaseproof packaging, often treated with PFAS, can be hazardous to health. So avoid any paper packaging and simply oil your pan and dust it with flour. Parchment paper can be used, but try to ensure it's not chemically treated, which can be a little tricky to find. Cardboard packaging may contain BPA, PFAS, and plastic coatings, again risking this chemical leaching. So you want to opt for glass containers and avoid recycled cardboard with plastic coatings. Aluminum foil can leach into our food too, and depending on the temperature and the contact time, it's been linked to Alzheimer's disease, so nothing we want. We want to really limit our use of aluminum foil and certainly limit our use with acidic or fatty foods, as this is going to increase the leaching. Lead crystal, brass, and glazed pottery also pose a risk of leaching lead, so avoid storing acidic foods in them or consider avoiding them altogether. When it comes to kitchen tools, plastic chopping boards and utensils can be leaching chemicals and introduce microplastics into our food, so we want to avoid those. Wood is a great alternative. Bamboo cutting boards are really sustainable and much healthier if they're using natural resin adhesives. Aluminum utensils can also leach into our food, and again, been linked to Alzheimer's disease. So choosing wood, bamboo, stainless steel, or silicone if silicone's not being used with heat. As more general points, it's also worth mentioning that you should try and keep these material choices in mind when shopping. So generally, just try to avoid plastics and canned food in general. Instead, opt for food and drinks sold in glass containers, paper bags, stainless steel, and waxed fabrics. And I would highly recommend by starting to focus on your most used items that give you the most exposure. For instance, this could be cookware for you instead of cling wrap if you never use that sort of to begin with. So it depends kind of what your habits are in the kitchen, but look to those items that you use most often. In the next lesson, we'll go over our recommended products. And in particular, we'll go over how to choose the right cookware for you and the best food storage and utensil options.